Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. We'll start with the headlines. A ceremony is held in the British Wharton Air Base to launch the first batch of Typhoon fighter aircrafts. In its conclusion, Oman Real Estate Conference recommends a unified strategy to develop the real estate sector in the Sultanate. And a number of violations by local and foreign investors are reported through the Invest Easy portal. Those are the headlines, and now for the news in details. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos has sent a cable of greetings to His Majesty King Harald, the 5th King of Norway, on his country's National Day. Within the framework of the royal care and interest accorded by His Majesty Sultan Qaboos, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, to the Sultan's Armed Forces to enhance their ability and role in protecting the country and maintaining the achievements made during the Blessed Renaissance, His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Saud bin Harab al-Busaidi, Minister responsible for Defense Affairs, presided over the launch ceremony of the first group of Typhoon aircraft fighters and Hawk Mk-166 training aircrafts. The launching ceremony was held at Wharton Air Base in Lancaster County in the United Kingdom. These aircrafts were purchased from BAE Systems of UK as agreed before. The third edition of Oman Real Estate Conference, which was organized by Oman Real Estate Association, concluded today in the Governorate of Muscat. The conference recommended to approve unified strategy and vision to support and develop the real estate sector and benefit from the investment opportunities in the Sultanate. The event included several panel discussions on the available business opportunities in the market and solutions for key challenges facing the sector. The conference was attended by a cross-section of the top officials from the relevant ministries, public and private sector enterprises and industry bodies, and knowledge sharing on development in the integrated residential complex, emergence of conventional projects, best practices in real estate regulations, brokerage and training, building sustainable communities, and smart urban planning were the main draws in the conference. The Information Technology Authority, in cooperation with various institutions concerned, continue to work towards preventing further cyber attacks. The authority did not receive any new reports about the ransomware attack except one of the government organizations that was announced earlier. Our correspondent Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rabi'i spoke to Dr. Badr bin Salim al-Mandhari, and he had this to say.
In Oman, the situation currently is under control. There is no need to be worried or panic about. The only one organization has reported being infected with this malware. Only some machines, few machines in that particular organization, not the whole network, and they've been dealt with according to the processes and procedures at ITA.
And if we look at the precautions, what the precaution measures you have taken to safeguard the computer system and the user data?
On a user level, users have to be very careful, especially with links and attachments coming from unknown sources, especially in the email. They should never access or any link or download any attachment from unknown source. Even if those links or attachments are coming from known sources and they look malicious, they have to be very careful and not to access them. They need to also regularly update their operating systems, patch their machines, and update their antivirus softwares regularly, at least once a day. They also need to educate themselves about these kind of threats. We're heavy users of the technologies, and many materials are available online in any formats, so we should use them, benefit from them to educate our families, our kids. On organization level, organizations need to follow and adhere to the policies, frameworks, and security standards being published by ITA. They contain all the requirements in order to protect their networks, applications, and their end users from these kind of threats. They also need to centrally manage their devices and their technologies within their organizations and centrally patch them regularly, of course. They need also to make sure that their antivirus and anti-malware softwares are updated.
Do you have any backup facilities available for the user data in case of any system comes under this threat?
Many organizations do have backup solutions as a requirement in one of the standards being drafted or being developed by ITA. If they have, if there is any situation where they require to restore their data, they should be able to. ITA also provides a national data center where organizations can host not only their data but also their whole systems in case of disaster recoveries where they can benefit from it.
With the information available with you, are the computer systems in the government are updated?
We are aware that many organizations have updated their systems. Many of the IT departments and divisions and the information security sections been following up with the organizations as well to ensure that they have been updated and they're protected against this kind of malware.
Finally, what advice would you like to give to the public in general?
Yeah, just don't be panic. Don't worry. The situation again is under control, but you need to be cautious, be careful, educate yourself, and read the warning or the alerts that coming from ITA about the situation.
Dr. Badr, thank you very much, and we hope that everything goes well here.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Activities of the 20th Arab-German Business Forum started in the German capital Berlin today, with the participation of more than 600 experts and decision makers in the Arab world and Germany in the fields of business and politics. The forum is organized by the Arab-German Chamber of Commerce and Industry in cooperation with the Arab Chambers Federation and the Union of German Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The Sultanate is taking part in the forum with a delegation of officials and Omani businessmen topped by His Excellency Yahya bin Saeed al-Jabri, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Authority of the Special Economic Authority in Duqm, and His Excellency Saeed bin Saleh al-Kiyumi, Chairman of Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry. His Excellency Yahya Jabri delivered a speech on behalf of the government of the Sultanate in which he stressed that the Arab-German Business Forum acquires a significant importance in promoting and extending the Arab-German economic relations and the progress that those relations witnessed in investment and trade during the last decade, adding that the Sultanate attained advanced levels in some global indicators such as the 2017 Index of the Ease of Doing Business, cross-border trade, investor protection, contract execution and settlement of insolvency cases, as well as the Index of Global Logistics Performance. A number of violations by local and foreign investors were reported to the Invest Easy portal that was unveiled by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, which has seized some investors who attached fake banking statements while registering in the portal. Those violations were referred to the competent authorities to undertake the legal action towards them. The ministry confirmed that it's facilitating procedures of the work environment and investment in the Sultanate. And still to come in our news bulletin. A team of international archaeologists are attempting to protect ruins of the ancient and mighty city of Mohenjo-Daro in Pakistan. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The Sultanate maintained the third position Arab-wise for the second consecutive year in the Index of 2017 of most stable and least fragile countries in the world. In the report issued by the World Peace Fund in Washington in the US, the Sultanate obtained the 45th position internationally with 52.5 points. The main index is based on many indicators, some of which are external interventions, human rights, public services, poverty, economic deterioration, development, migration, refuge, and internal displacement. Reviewing the military relations between the Sultanate and the United States of America was the main aspect of discussions between Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harith al-Nabhani, Chief of the Staff of the Sultan's Armed Forces, and General Joseph Votel, Commander of the U.S. Central Command, and his delegation, who's currently visiting the Sultanate. During the meeting, they exchanged points of views in different military fields and discussed a number of matters of mutual concern. Exchanging views and a number of matters of mutual concern were the center of talks between His Excellency Mohammed bin Nasser al-Rasbi, Secretary General at the Ministry of Defense, and General Joseph Votel, Commander of the U.S. Central Command, and his delegation. The volume of real estate transactions in the Sultanate during the last April stood at 244 million Omani Riyals. The collected reached more than 7 million Omani Riyals through 31.3 thousand legal transactions, which included selling, endowment, inheritance, mortgage, foreclosures, and benefits. The Governorate of North Al Batna recorded the highest rate in the selling transactions, while the Ministry of Housing issued more than 20,000 ownership deeds, including Gulf-owned bonds, and 5,369 registrations for the first time. Acquainting the participants with the missions and roles undertaken by the civil defense subcommittees in the Governorate of the Sultanate to face emergency cases and ways to coordinate efforts among all bodies were topics discussed at a workshop on National Organization for Emergency Case Management in the Governorate of the Dhofar. The event was organized and delivered by a team from the Executive Office of the National Civil Defense Committee. The training program included an exercise to deal with an emergency case to assess the preparedness of all different bodies. A number of officers from the Police Command of the Governorate of the Dhofar and representatives of various government bodies in the Governorate took part in the workshop. In order to familiarize local and foreign companies at Duqm Port and Dry Dock with students' projects, the College of Technology in Ibra organized an exhibition on student scientific innovation and projects in various fields. The event is part of the activities of the Open Day of the College. It aims to showcase some innovations of students in the field of engineering and information technology. The exhibition also included some creative work in the field of fine arts, calligraphy, and handicraft industries. The event was attended by some establishments and companies of the private sector. The annual fine arts competition was concluded in the Wilaya of Sohar in the Governorate of North Batna. The theme of the competition this year focused on the Omani environment and ways to preserve it. The teachers and students in the schools of the Governorate took part in the competition to enhance their skills and capabilities in the arts field. The accompanying exhibition displayed more than 400 works, including colorful paintings and portraits that blend the Omani nature, history, and heritage. The participants expressed that through this competition, the bodies concerned aim to spread awareness among the members of the community on the significance of protecting the environment, as well as to provide an opportunity for the students to express their ideas through artistic works. Unknown to the world, the ancient and mighty city of Mohenjo-Daro in Pakistan is getting attention from a team of international archaeologists determined to protect its ruins. Here's a report.
The ruins of a once great city. Mohenjo-Daro was built by the ancient Indus civilization, which could predate Egypt's pharaohs. Lying on the banks of the Indus River, it's one of 6 sites in Pakistan that feature on UNESCO's World Heritage List. A team of international archaeologists is now seeking to safeguard it.
Everybody knows Egypt, nobody knows Mohenjo-Daro and the Indus Valley. This has to be changed.
The Indus Valley civilization could have numbered up to 5 million people, with Mohenjo-Daro its largest and most advanced settlement. Houses had their own wells, tiled bathrooms and flush toilets. The city's avenues boasted drains, gutters and containers for waste disposal. At the center of it all, one of the key buildings, a massive public bath.
Indus cities were organized in a way which has much more, I would say, equality among citizens. In Mesopotamia, the streets went from the city to this palace, or the city gateway to the temple, whereas in Harappan cities, all the streets were organized to allow access through the whole city.
Preserving all this heritage is a great challenge. Only a small portion of the site has been excavated properly, and there are currently no plans to dig any further.
It's been actually preserved when it's buried. Once you expose it, there's all sorts of different forces which affect it. So the weather, the nature of the environment around, how well behaved the people are who visit the site.
Tourists and locals have left their mark, damaging areas of the site. Heat, insecurity, and salt from the underground water table pose additional threats. To this day, no one knows why the Indus civilization declined some 19 centuries before Christ, and the answer may lie below ground. But for now, the priority remains to protect what has been found before digging for more treasures.
And now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. A ceremony is held in the British Wharton Air Base to launch the first batch of Typhoon fighter aircrafts. In its conclusion, the Oman Real Estate Conference recommends a unified strategy to develop the real estate sector in the Sultanate. And a number of violations by local and foreign investors are reported through the Invest Easy portal. With that, we come to an end to tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, good night.